Hey, let me start by saying we didn't get much to cheer for in the first half, but the crowd was electric. And if we can get that for every home game, that's such an advantage for us. Our players thrive off of that. Makes it difficult for the opposing team's quarterbacks. We need that effort every game. That's the standard. Talk about the standard for our team. That's the standard for our fans. And it was tough sledding there in the first half. Not a lot to cheer about, like I said, but that was awesome to see. You know, really, first time I've been here. Last year was COVID. The first year we weren't very good. But we're going to give the fans something to cheer about. We need your back. We need you guys to have our backs, and that was tremendous for this entire team. So I'll open up to questions.
Zach, what changed offensively in the second half that got things going?
You know, we felt good on the first drive, and the OPI kind of set us back, and then we missed the field goal, so we felt good starting, and then we just can't find our rhythm with those 3 and out, 4 and out, 3 and out. And that's what was tough, you know. And we were going to we feel confident in 2 minutes. We got pinned down there on the inch-yard line and just made sure we got to half because we knew we were going to get the ball back. And you know, we kept preaching to our guys in Chicago. We scored 2 touchdowns in about 3 minutes. So 14-0 is nothing to us. You know, that's why you play 4 quarters. You don't panic. There's plenty of time left in the game, and that's exactly what our players did.
Was that as impressed as you've been with Joe Burrow,
Yeah.
what you saw in the second half?
Yeah. It's not surprising. But when the line gives him time like they did, he's going to be really tough to deal with. And we have a lot of weapons, you know, and we're missing a big one too with T. But we count on everybody to step up. You know, he hit Samaje there for a huge first down and empty. So, again, Joe's just seeing the field really well right now, and you kind of put it in his hands and let him go.
Coach kind of came out in the second half. He came out with a lot of, looked like a lot of heavy triple tight ends. He had the 6-man, wasn't he?
I know you like the 3 tight ends.
It was lovely.
I finally listened to you, Jeff. No, it was really good. You know, that was where we just needed to get the run game going. And it was just, you know, we were doing a couple different schemes, and they were doing a nice job on defense. And so we just needed to find that one little crease we could find to get it going. And 13 personnel was what it was for us today. So then that kind of opens it up. Then you can get back in 11 personnel and run the ball a little bit. But we just needed kind of that confidence up front to get it moving. And, you know, they gave us the looks we expected. And so that helped us just get it going.
Zach, the goal line stand right before halftime, turning point of the game.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. That was the turning point of the game. You know, it feels, again, it was about to be 21-0. Right before the half, and that is a tough hole to dig out of. We believe we could do it, but you certainly don't want that going into halftime and them getting the momentum. And so that felt like the momentum came back in our favor. Our defense finally got a chance to rest because, you know, it was the offense was leaving them out there. I think they had 15 first downs right out the gate, you know, and so our defense was gassed. It's a short week. That all factors into it for both teams, but we hung them out to dry there on offense, and so that was a huge for them just to bow up and stop, and our low red zone defense has been tremendous through the first 4 games, and that's big. Keeping points off the board is critical.
I know it's hypothetical, but if it does go 21-0, do you have that luxury of committing to the run in the second?
Yeah, you do. I mean, we scored quick. You know, we scored in the first 2 minutes, so you don't panic in that state. It's not easy, you know. It's hard to do, but you can still. I don't know. We're not going to be. I don't ever want to put us in that situation. If I am, I'll answer that question correctly. But we were in good shape. They're down 14.
With so much attention on Joe Burrow, Jamar, and even T last year, can you emphasize just how important Tyler Boyd is in this offense?
No, I can't, because I would understate anything. Tyler Boyd's leadership, consistency as he walks in this building every single day. I mean, we define a Bengal as PHAT, physical, hungry, accountable teammate who's willing to do their all to get the job done. And that's Tyler Boyd. Run game, protection sometimes when we ask him to, pass game, leading. He doesn't care about his touches. He's happy when his teammates get it done. He cheers on the defense. He's just a tremendous example of what we want to be all about.
Zach, about the way Uzomah's come on.
Yeah. You know, it's just CJ, the same things I see about TB, the way he comes in the building and the consistent person he is. He never knows when his opportunities are coming. They've been limited this year, you know, and so, again, when his number's called, he just steps up and makes plays. He caught a keeper for a touchdown. He caught a scramble drill for a touchdown. He caught a jailbreak screen that I promise you we've never worked in practice to CJ. He just knew exactly what to do, ran it correctly, and got us into field goal range. And that's just, that's just the chemistry of our offense right now. We can call anything out of really anything, and the guys know what to do because their football IQ is so high. They work hard at it. They study on their own, and CJ's just, I couldn't be happy for him to have the type of game he had.
Was that just something from the defense that you saw?
Zero blitz. You better have an answer. Zero blitz. And Joe handled it well, calmly, got us the right check, and we executed.
CJ out there just because you guys were banged up with the position, or that's just he happened to be lined up?
That wasn't the play we called. That was a check from Joe.
Yeah.
So again, we put those guys everywhere in empty. They can line up anywhere. That just happened to be where he was in that play, and they zero blitzed us because I don't know how many empty plays we ran, but it was a lot, and I don't know if the ball ever hit the ground. So if I'm them, they had to try something different, and they zeroed us, and Joe was ready for it.
So that was the second play call that you gave him 2. And
I didn't give him. I gave him 1.
Okay.
He got us to 2.
What was your message at halftime?
Come back to you, Paul. Paul, go ahead and finish
I
up.
was going to say the off-script touchdown where
Yeah.
Joe rolls. I mean, that's got to be for you, I imagine, the ideal scenario.
Yeah.
The quarterback making a play when it opens up to make a play.
Yeah, we've been preaching to our guys that we're going to score in a scramble drill. We have to. We throw the ball enough and empty, it's going to happen. And we don't have a ton of reps in practice, so we try to manufacture them where we can, but it pops up in the game, and they got to be ready. And CJ, again, all the things that I said, he just knows what to do in those situations. And I thought he was wide open to start. I saw the video replay, and there was a plug dropper that dropped right underneath him. Joe couldn't see him, and CJ just stayed in phase with him like we practice, and it paid off. So it was a huge play by CJ and Joe and the linemen to keep him alive and give Joe an opportunity there. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What was your message at halftime, and was there a specific player who kind of stood up and said anything?
The message was they had really beat us in all 3 phases. We had not played great football. They genuinely beat us in all 3 phases. So we took, whether or not it's their best shot, I don't know, but it sure felt like it. And we were not playing good football. And you had a whole second half to play. So there's no reason to panic. Nobody did. Everybody was calm, cool, and collected. They knew that we were going to get the ball to start the half. We're usually pretty efficient in that. And they just trusted that we're going to come together. And I just told them, I've never, we always preach a connected team. That's what you want. This team is so connected right now. Just the brotherhood is so tight. It's so awesome to watch these guys celebrate with each other. They believe in each other. We've done it a lot of different ways at this point through 3 victories. And that's just going to help us as the season moves on. Go ahead, James, and I'll hit Jeff.
Why do you think your guys were able to stay calm and not panicking?
It's just a different feel for this team right now. It's just the football character is through the roof. And what I mean by that is the guys that just love football, it's important to them. We have so many guys that are hurt that were dying to play today. They were doing everything, begging me to let them play, and we just couldn't let them play on a short week. And so just that just shows kind of where we've come that our guys are just desperate to get on the field when they're injured, and the guys that are healthy are just, guys got worn down today. They were worn out from Sunday, just like Jacksonville was. Our guys got worn out today, but they just kept fighting and made the plays when we needed them. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah.
And I'll let you know.
That last drive was kind of a tractor pull. Mixon goes down.
Yeah.
You got a false stat. You got a hold. You got a zero blitz with an empty back. I mean, it's not exactly the way you drew it up.
No, you got to overcome adversity in this league, and that's what our guys did. And you don't know what it's going to look like. It's going to be 14-0 at halftime, a goal line stand, a penalty, a zero blitz, whatever it was. But our guys were ready for it, and they overcame adversity, and I couldn't be prouder of them.
Trevor hurt you with his legs a little bit in the first half, even the throw to Chenault was in out of 5. What changed maybe a little bit in the second half to limit some of that?
Yeah, they're in some of those zone reads on those 3rd and shorts that really hurt us. They did a good job on that. I thought our defense just bowed up and made some plays, and I just proud of the way our guys adjusted and handled that, and kind of, he's a really good athlete. You see that, I think last week there was an RPO or something where he pulled down and he made a guy miss in space, and that was all I needed to see to know that this guy's really dynamic. He's quicker than you think he is. He's a strong runner, and so I could sense that we were going to have our work cut out for us on this perimeter, and that's just kind of what they're using to get him in phase. You knew this was a good team. They had a lot of turnovers, and if you eliminated those turnovers, we saw a good football team on tape. We saw a quarterback with a ton of potential who was going to hit his stride sooner rather than later. We saw a really solid defense and special teams unit, so we knew we had a battle on our hands, and it was no surprise that it kind of played out the way it did today.
Do you know for certain who it was that chased Trevor Lawrence down on that 3rd down play, the last 3rd down play?
I don't.
Okay. Are there any things that you can look at specifically and see where the short week, the emotion of last week affected the way your guys played today?
I think if we had had a better rhythm coming out on offense, it would have solved a lot of our problems. It would have solved the defensive problems because they played twice as many snaps as the offense did last week on Sunday. So our offense was a little fresher. They obviously sustained some drives today. So I really put that on me, the offense in the first half, not finding that rhythm to get the defense off the field, and that would have solved a lot of our problems. But to answer the first, I thought we had a tremendous week of practice. Like going into this game, I didn't think we could have handled it any better. Our guys were focused and dialed in, and again, first half we just got to do a better job finding our rhythm and offense.
First real quick, do you have an update on Mixon? Do you know what happened there at the end?
I think he just minor ankle injury, I believe it is.
Okay,
So I don't know that for confirmed, but he was moving around, limping around a little bit coming off the field. I have no idea what the diagnosis timeline was.
And then, given what y'all wanted to do at the end of the season, did you feel like you guys needed this game specifically, given everything, and given this kind of stint of the year, for this to be a win, given what y'all?
Yeah, there's no question. This was the first quarter of the season, and right now we're up 7-0. And it's a long game. It's a long season. This is a very small part of it, but it is critical to get this momentum going into a 10-day work week against an opponent who's been in the last 2 NFC Championship games. So it was critical to get this momentum going into this. But again, we just finished the first phase of the season, and that's a very small part of what happens.